Alrighty, so it's the first video back at home, and we got to get this GTO back up and going. We have all the suspension here down on the floor. We have a stock subframe holding the motor up. So we're going to get this guy mounted back in, get the car rolling. So I need to put these guys going through the car. So we got to start working on that. I'm going to get the car on the floor first so I can be able to move it around. I want to start it because it's had E85 in there for a month and a half without the car running. I can't start it right now because the pump has no fluid in it. So the goal is to get this thing back on the floor, mount some hoses, and take it for a test drive. You know, it is a street car, so go drive the streets in it. Alrighty, so currently we have the subframe ready to go, wearing gloves. We have the other subframe off, and we have empty down here ready to go. It's got a little oil leak. I gotta fix that. Not too happy with that. This little guy's leaking oil right there. So I gotta figure that out. So let's go ahead and get this thing in there, and then can't wait to fire up the car. It's been a month and a half, so you know, I'd love to hear it run. Love to post a video of it running, and hopefully go drive it tonight. So currently we have to remove one of the bolts on the shock there to get the calipers on. We have to tighten the lines down there for the power steering. Also have to put the bolt to the steering shaft in, and as well as do this caliper. After we do that, bleed the power steering, put the wheels on, put it on the floor. All right, she is back on the floor. So Louis came over, and one thing he noticed, this filter here was pretty dirty, obviously, but it was also falling apart. There is a lot of rocks in there, which that's good that it caught it on the outside, but it also, you see there, it was all coming in. So time for a new filter. Not sure if you can see it, but you can see out, which is not good. So it was a bit dirty from SEMA and Winter Jam. Those are just two events, and that's how dirty it got. So we need to order a new one. This one's done for. We're on the way to pick up a new motor.
Elite Auto.
He got hired and fired and hired again.
I'm rehired. You'll see me back on the page again.
For like a week or so, and then you'll be fired again. Sean's making me go broke.
Fuck, dude. Us car people stay up. Homeowners and car people, we stay broke.
Alright, what up guys? So as many of you know, we also have a white SS. It's a 2014 Chevy SS. We don't really drive it that much, but we're trying to change that up this year. With having the other SS, it's pretty cool if my girlfriend and my kid can be riding in this. So I bought this thing 4 years ago from a buddy named Tommy. And you can see it sits. It sits in the backyard. The car does have a very small cam, but other than that, it's completely stock. Exhaust, everything else, intake, everything. So the guys over at X-Force sent us over an X4 Varix exhaust. We're going to throw that on there with long tubes, see how much better it sounds. And it being all 3-inch exhaust, it might increase the horsepower. We'll all see that on the dyno as well. We're going to throw it on the dyno after this. We also have some coilovers for Maverick Man right there. We're going to throw those guys on there, and we're going to throw some Conseil wheels on there. I think he's going to change up the whole car dramatically. But again, we'll see. We'll do a cold start video now and a cold start video after. So this thing actually does have 2017, or should say 2016, 17 rear mufflers. So they're open. So it's technically like an open exhaust in the rear, but it still has cats. So with the Varix exhaust, I'm gonna do away with that, but also it should sound nice. I had X-Force Varix on my Ute, on my Holden Commodore Ute, and I also had the X-Force Varix on my Z28, and I loved it on my Z28 because whenever I don't want it loud, I would shut it off, and it also wouldn't drone in the car, which was a big thing for me. So I don't want it droning in the car here, and I want her to be able to open the exhaust and close it whenever she's driving it. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So we got the car in the air. As you guys know, I don't have a lift. Hopefully eventually YouTube pays off enough for me to buy a lift, or buy some property, or buy some cement to put a lift in my backyard. But for now, we're working on the floor. It sucks. We're gonna start off with taking off the spark plug wires. Then we'll move on to taking off the exhaust on the bottom, then the catalytic converters, then the exhaust manifolds. We have new gaskets there. We probably should order some ARP bolts. We're gonna take off the wheels. All right, so we have the stock exhaust off. That's all off. This side is all off. I currently right now don't have the ARP bolts, and all the stock ones are still good. We're gonna use the stock ones and pray that they don't break. And here's the exhaust that was on there. So I lied, it wasn't completely stock. The resonators in there were already cut out. It's a pretty crappy job that they did, but we're getting rid of all that. So, and getting rid of these. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and unbox this stuff here. I wish I had a stand for my phone, which I don't, but I'll probably set something up so that you guys can watch me unbox that stuff, and we'll go see all the new stuff. We're gonna start off with the headers first. I don't wanna have everything just laid on the floor, so we'll install the long tubes, and after that, we'll go from there to the rest of it. All right, so we got everything out of the boxes. Here we have the long tubes. We have a catted mid section. We also have a section that has no cats. I think we're gonna go with using the cats if we can make them fit. We also have, as they call, the hot dog mufflers with an X pipe. We have the Varix mufflers back there. And yeah, can't wait to see what all of this is going to be like on the car, honestly. Should be pretty interesting. I know this is the same setup as the cars in Australia, so the steering shaft is meant to go through here, from my understanding. But we'll see how it goes. We're gonna go ahead and get this going. All right, so we have the long tubes in there. Those guys are in. Also in on this side. And we have the midsection set up. So I found out those are if you want to use the stock manifolds, and pretty much the stock manifolds and stock cats, you can run those, or you can run these. Comes with new cats. It should be pretty quiet. I don't think it's gonna be too loud, but it's pretty awesome on the material and stuff that they're using. It looks pretty sick. And then we have the mufflers kind of sitting there for now. We're just kind of holding them up, and we'll put the tips on later. All right, so all the exhaust is on. You ready to hear your car turn on? Yeah. All right, so we got all the exhausts on. Tips are on. This one sticks out a little further than the other side. Not a big fan of that, but it's pretty quiet. It's obviously louder We ran the Varix wires temporarily. I don't even think we're gonna have the quiet or like the cutouts closed ever because it's pretty quiet. But one thing I am worried about is how low these guys hang right here. And then I have to put the O2 sensor extensions on. That might be a problem right there. That's pretty close. But these things hang very low, and mine's on my SS they already hit, so that might be an issue, especially if we're putting this exhaust on my SS.